Hi everybody, it's Kate Luella here. I've got a great interview to share with you today. It's with Shane Melaugh of imimpact.com. I love his videos and I think a lot of people who follow Shane follow his videos. He speaks from the heart. He pretty much says it how it is. Sometimes that actually gets him in a bit of trouble, which we discuss in this interview amongst other things. But essentially, he's just a guy who's trying to do the right thing, make a living online, help others do the same, and enjoy life at the same time. I actually think he's a really good role model for a lot of people who want to make money online, whether it's internet marketing or product creation. And we talk about all these concepts in this interview. So we talk about products that he's actually made himself, the sort of money he makes from them, how he goes about marketing them, and even tips he has for other people who want to break into the market. So don't forget to leave a review of Blogger Interviews Podcast on iTunes or my actual blog. You can go to bloggersinterviewpodcast.com and leave a comment there as well, and Shane will reply to anyone who does that. But in any case, I look forward to hearing what people think. So without further ado, here's Shane. So you're making a lot of products now. Is that 100% of where you make your money at the moment, just your products, or do you have other things going on that is earning you income online?
I have, well, it's close to 100% from selling my own products. Yeah, I still have. So the thing is, I used to have quite a nice chunk of income from affiliate sites in various niches. Unfortunately, they didn't survive some of the Google slaps that have been happening this year.
Right.
So this year, sadly, my affiliate income has dropped to almost nothing.
Right.
Or, well, not almost nothing. I'm still making a bit. What's it now? I don't know, but it's maybe like 1,000 a month or so. It used to be a lot more than that. So everything else is just a bit of side income. My main income source is selling my own products, and I'm fine with that. To me, as I said, that's my job. My job is to sell my own products.
So you said you started out about 2008. So is that when you started making products, or was it a while before you finally got to that place where you're ready to do that? Or
my first product I made in 2010, I think.
Okay, wow. So really, like in less than 2 years, you've created probably over a dozen products with other people sometimes, but
yeah, I have been busy, yeah.
okay, so out of your products, which ones are doing the best for you? Is it you're like a hybrid connect or like software?
Well, the real answer to that is basically I'm like the co-founder of a different company other than IMimpact, which is called Swiss Made Marketing.
Right.
And I spent the majority of last year, we spent working on their products and promoting their products. And the main product, the flagship product there is SE Cockpit, which is a keyword research and SEO tool. And that is by far the biggest earner that's an extremely successful product, basically. So
what is it? What is the product?
SE Cockpit.
Okay, see, I don't know what that is.
Yes, that's terrible.
I know.
SE Cockpit, it's basically we created that originally. We created that because I was doing a lot of keyword research and SEO for my affiliate sites back then. And none of the keyword tools that we found were any good, so we started building our own, and then it grew into, it does a lot more than just keyword research at this point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So it's based it's like your micro niche finder sort of product. Is that in that group?
Yeah, but it's like micro niche finder on massive steroids.
Okay, fantastic. You know what? I probably have heard of it, but I haven't bought it, I guess, and I must go look at it.
It's not like a typical. It's not really a product aimed at the internet marketing niche.
Right.
Basically, it's a cloud-based service, and it's extremely expensive to run. So it's a recurring product as well. It's a recurring subscription that you have to get for that.
Yes.
And it's, in terms of the pricing, it's not the typical customer who likes to buy a $7 plugin on a special offer or whatever is not going to be the customer who signs up for SE Cockpit.
Gotcha. Okay. Who is your target demographic for SE Cockpit?
Well, we have a couple of typical users. We do have a couple of users who kind of, do an affiliate marketing like thing where they run a bunch of different websites and they do keyword research and so on for a bunch of different websites. We have quite a few customers who do some kind of local SEO or other kind of SEO consulting. So they run their own SEO companies and they use SE Cockpit as the basis of that.
Right.
And we have some people who just use it for one site. So, some might have a large e-commerce store and they just keep using this to find the best keywords to try and rank their products and listings for.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, it's got quite a wide demographic potential anyway. Basically, anyone who wants to, well, who's SEO focused could use it.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, do you use it?
I do use it, yeah.
Okay.
It's great. I mean, I haven't my focus has shifted away from SEO quite a bit.
Right.
It's this last year, but it's still one of the great things about SEO copy is it's really fast. And so whenever I create a new blog post, for example, I just run a few keywords through there to see if I can find one that's going to be an easy win, where I just add that in my title or something, even if I hardly do any other optimization, where I can get a page one listing and just get some Google traffic off of that.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about guest posting and things like that? Are you doing that much?
Much is the wrong word, but we've just started doing that. Well, essentially, one of the things I'm working on right now is just a series of traffic experiments where I just try various different ways of generating traffic. And one of them is guest posting. So I have been sending out some guest posts lately,
Yeah.
and a couple have been published, a couple more to come. And all in the context of seeing what kind of effects we can have in terms of traffic generation, which is also something we'll obviously be reporting on once we have some results.
That would be interesting. I did an interview with Dan Norris the other day, who does done a lot of guest posting, and we talked about this at length. This was the majority of our conversation, and he gave tips to how to make a guest post successful, because he said at first they weren't. He said they weren't driving traffic because people generally don't go to a blog so that they can click on someone's link and go out of the blog.
Yeah.
So he then talked about make sure you're talking about your company and what you're doing so that they just start to want to know more, as opposed to just talking about whatever you're talking about. So yeah, I'm interested to see your results. I think that's what I'm getting to, and what your results.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that interview because I'm certainly not like a guest posting expert or anything like that. Yeah, we are trying something that's slightly unique, but I don't want to talk about yet with our guest posting and see what will happen, because I don't want to talk about it because there are no results yet. So I don't want to talk about something as if it's a great idea if it turns out to be a stupid idea.
I understand. Do you charge for your posts?
Who do I charge for my what?
Well, the person that hosts your article or your whatever you post, the blog owner. Do they pay you for your work?
No.
No, because that's what we were talking about too, was that there's a lot of people that sell their posts because it will drive traffic for that blog owner, and top level blogs only want top level writers, so they'll pay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they've paid Dan, but but he was just talking about it as I just wanted, because you're quite high level. I thought maybe you'd actually be in a position to charge, but anyway, maybe not yet.
Yeah, but the idea is I've never thought of that, but the idea is really not trying to make money like that. I don't want to make money as a writer, I guess. The idea is to try and, well, it's a traffic and branding thing, right? Because on the one hand, it's true, some or a lot of people will read a guest post and they won't click through to your site. But I think it can still have a certain amount of value as a branding tool, right? As long as they recognize, oh, right, that's this guy. I know this guy. He wrote this other awesome post. That can have a cumulative effect after a while. All right, at least I hope so. I'm kind of betting on that.
Look, I think it does, but I think that Dan's point was that time is money, and as you become more and more better at what you do and considered more and more of an expert, that it's understandable that you say, look, I'm happy to write a post for you, Mr. Blogger, but my fee is $500 per post. Are you happy with that? And that blogger says, well, I know if Shane writes a post for me that it's top quality, it's completely researched. I don't publish rubbish. I don't publish things self-publishing rubbish, So anyway, look, I guess that's a whole different conversation, but I think at some point you will charge, only because that's a natural, sooner than later, actually. But
we'll see.
Yeah. So it's not just about making money; it's about respect. I don't know. That's a bit tacky. All right, let's move on. We haven't really talked about WSO. We won't go into depth about that. I did want to ask you: have you actually ever put a product on Warrior Forum?
Yes, I have.
You have? How did that go? What was your feeling?
But I have to qualify that, because originally, and this was still the case more or less when I first discovered the Warrior Forum. The Warrior Forum special offer and I don't know if they've changed that description, but the official description back then was, this is a place where you can offer a special deal for Warrior Forum members of your product, which is of course not what it's used for now. What people do is they use it as a marketplace to launch their products. It's not like these products are available anywhere else. And it's not really a special offer. It's just a product that's being sold on the Warrior Forum. So I have used and it's been a long time, but I have used the Warrior Forum to actually do what you're supposed to do, which is, for one of my products that I was selling anyway, I offered a lower price or something like that on the Warrior Forum for a limited time. I have used that like that.
Why did you do that?
To see if it would be any use as a business
But you were selling
strategy.
it elsewhere, so I'm thinking, why would you do it on Warrior cheaper? Were you thinking, I want more turnover, or you wanted to get a different type of buyer and list build, or?
Oh no, it's the same as if you're doing, I don't know, a Christmas sale or something like that.
Right.
If you just go, here's and that's the idea with a limited offer, right? You say, okay, for the next 3 days, this is available only to you people through this link at a lower price.
Right. Okay.
It's just to get more people. It's just sales are essentially using a time limit, using essentially time scarcity to get more people to buy your stuff. That's
right. See, I was always told sales are to thank the regular customer who shops always. It's just to give them that little pocket of discount.
Yeah, okay,
But that can't apply to what you just said, because you don't regularly sell it on Warrior. So that's why I'm thinking, why have you gone to Warrior?
Right. Well, the way I do it is that if you're a customer or subscriber to my list, you always get first access to my product at the lowest price.
Right.
That will not be publicly available.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. You finished that. I thought you were going to then say, and then I put it on Warrior and I let people know about Warrior or something, but obviously you weren't going to say that.
No, I mean, as I said, I don't use Warrior special offers or anything like that currently.
No.
We might also do like a traffic experiment where we do
Right.
or we create an offer specifically for the Warrior Forum. See, one of the problems is that the products I create are not Warrior Forum type products.
Well, I think Hybrid Connect is.
Yeah, but not at the price point.
No, I think it is at that price point. No, I absolutely, because absolutely. Have you been in there lately? Yeah, they sell for that price.
Yeah, well, we haven't considered that yet, but what we were considering is that we might do a product where it's, deliberately a very cheap product as a lead generation thing, essentially,
right?
And try that on the Warrior Forum. But we'll have to see.
Well, what they're doing there is they'll often do giveaways on Warrior Forum, which is purely, they're paying $40, which is for the thread, just to drive traffic. Or they're putting it as an article now. They've got all these article things going on.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
That's something I also did. One of my first free products I also posted as a giveaway on the Warrior Forum. But that's like years ago.
Yeah, okay. But still, it's interesting to hear that, because it's letting people who listen to this interview know what you did to get where you are today. So I'm really glad you're sharing that with us. So, because it just shows it's not an overnight thing. These little blocks you build gradually, and then you get to where you are now. So it's wonderful. The only problem I have with Warrior Forum is a lot of crap on there, I must say. A lot of rehash stuff. Not that it's really deterring anyone buying there, but
yeah. Well, what really kind of rubs me the wrong way is that there's a lot of crap and a lot of censorship.
Right.
Which I think is the worst. It's the worst combination. You have a place where a lot of people are shilling crap, and there are a lot of gullible people falling for all kinds of stuff, and there's a censorship against anyone saying anything negative about any of these people. So,
yeah, but I see negative stuff quite a bit. I don't know if it's that heavily. They might censorship, but my understanding, I often read the comments, and I would say, like, out of 10 comments, one of them is not a great comment. It can be, look, mate, what's the difference between this and what you did 2 months ago? Is this just another rehashed product of what you did 2 months ago? That is not a good comment. That's saying, I'm calling you out for rehashing.
Yeah. I've had a couple of posts removed, and I might have even had I think I had a temporary ban as well for.
Oh no. That is
for telling it like it is. So basically, if I put the kind of content I put on my blog on the Warrior Forum, I can guarantee you that I'll get banned.
You have to sell through me, Shane.
Yes.
That's put here. Do you have any tips for bloggers who are my demographic for this podcast? to get affiliates to promote their product. Yeah.
Right. So we're assuming they have a product, right? They have an affiliate program.
Well, yeah, and they've got a blog that does quite well. But
Okay.
as you know, money is in volume, and that might be a list building thing too anyway. So, yeah, is there any ideas to approach other affiliates with lists, not just other bloggers? A lot of bloggers don't have great sized lists. They don't necessarily keep them.
Yeah. Well, there are a few things. I don't think I'm an expert in affiliate recruitment, I have to say.
Right.
And like one of the issues is in many cases, certainly in internet marketing, but also in many other niches, there are these circles of people who promote each other,
Right. Yes.
and you can get in by, promoting
Promoting
everyone
them.
else's thing. So
Yeah.
if that's definitely one way of doing it,
Right.
right? If you go in, but it's like it's the problem is that in this circle you can't like you have to promote everyone's stuff. You have to be hyper enthusiastic about everyone's stuff, and you can't essentially ever say that any one of these people's stuff is crap, even if it is, which is a bit of an issue. Which is an issue with my personal approach. So, but that's definitely a way to do it. Like, go to these people, promote their thing, and then ask them to promote yours in return.
Right.
But apart from that, what I can say is, well, there are two or three things that work quite well for me. One of them is, instead of just looking for affiliates who have mailing lists, also look for review opportunities. Look for opportunities where people can post a review of your product on their site or their blog. And one of the ways to do that is you simply Google for reviews of a competing product.
Right.
So if someone's published a review of a competing product of yours, especially if that product was launched maybe half a year or a year ago or something, and you can approach them and say, look, you have this post here. I see you got a bunch of comments. It probably did well for you, but by now it's probably died down because nobody's talking about this product anymore. Well, here's an alternative product. I'll give you a review copy of this. We have an affiliate program, and you can basically make the whole thing happen all over again. And that's, that's just one way. I think that a lot of people just neglect this option to actually go and actively pursue reviews, and that's one way you can go about it. And another thing is, what you want to do is essentially, well, I think there are two elements. On the one hand, you want to approach as many people as possible, because it's just always going to be a numbers game, right?
Sure. Yeah.
There's just going to be a certain percentage of affiliates that do not promote your thing no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to stick it out. You'll just have to grind through it and contact as many people as possible. And on the other hand, ideally, when you contact them, you want to be able to do something for them first. And there's a bit of an art to finding something small you can do for someone to get their attention. Because if you just go, well, I have an affiliate program, you can make money with this, that's too common. Everybody has that.
Yes.
And I mean, look, let's be honest, even if you do just that, you'll still get some affiliates. If all you do is you just send messages to everyone you can find, I have this product, will you promote it? Some of them will say yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of them will just ignore you. And especially, people with big blogs, people with big mailing lists and so on will get requests like that several times a day, so they'll just ignore you. And so the goal is, find something that you can do for them, which will get their attention. And that can be something that works surprisingly well, is if you look at their website or look at their, whatever it is they're doing, their business, and you find something that's broken and you send them a message saying, hey, this is broken, you should fix it.
Right.
Like, you have a broken link on this page, or that page there doesn't load in Firefox, or when people sign up to this list, they get to the wrong thank you page. If you find something like that, it's an amazingly high response rate to that kind of message. And then you're on their radar. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
But the same thing can be approaching someone. It depends on what your specialty is, right? Approaching someone, it can just be getting on their radar by maybe leaving comments on their blog first before you send them an email. It can be creating a guest post for them first before you ask for a promotion. Essentially, you want to somehow find a way to provide some value to that person before you go, hey, please promote my thing. That's kind of a lot of work. And I don't know if there's any shortcut that goes around that. That's the way you can get people's attention that are difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah. Well, I suppose a shortcut might be, I mean, you may not like this, might be
Mhm.
safe swaps, you know? What do you
Oh,
think of that idea?
wait, so is there a difference between a safe swap and an ad swap?
Safe swaps where you swap your lists, or you know,
Yeah,
both market each other's product too.
yeah,
So that's a quick way. That's all I'm saying, you know.
yeah.
Mm.
That's the mutual. One of the problems, I've done a bit of experimenting with swaps and solo ads,
Uh-huh.
but not much, and it's been quite a while. One of the issues I've just found is that if someone, they have a mailing list, but they're not willing to promote your product, but they are willing to do a swap, it often means that, or they're willing to sell you a solo ad, it often means that they know their list just doesn't convert that well.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you have a really quality list, and I've had some incredible affiliates. I've also had some incredibly underperforming affiliates, but I've had some incredible affiliates with tiny lists that just converted at an amazing rate. If someone has a list like that and you come to them and say, hey, um, let me purchase a solo ad for $300, they'd be like, why would I do that? If I just promote your thing as an affiliate, I'll make thousands of dollars. So why would I
yeah,
sell a cheap ad? And the same thing is, why would I want a bit of your traffic on a free sign up in exchange for all my awesome traffic to your sign up? I have better stuff to do. So
yeah,
I'm not saying don't do it, but just be aware that, and maybe this isn't true anymore because I have limited experience, but in my experience, the quality of traffic you get there is not great,
yeah.
which means that you have to find a way to qualify people. You have to think about, okay, I'm throwing all this traffic at a page here, and how can I qualify? How can I filter out the right kind of people that will end up becoming valuable customers or valuable followers and fans?
Well, look, I was on a chat on a webinar the other night about solo ads, and what they said was don't sell on a solo ad, just go to a giveaway to get them to opt in. Don't do a double opt in, just single opt in. Otherwise, half of them sit there and don't confirm it, and you're still paying for it, you know. So, you know, I guess it's not a great idea, but I just thought it might be a fast track to it, but maybe not. Maybe it's really not.
I
I
think the
your idea.
thing is, it can be deceptive because yes, it's a way to get traffic quickly, and yeah, if you do that, you send them to a squeeze page, you have single opt-in because you can't even trust these people to click a link in an email. That's an issue right there. Isn't that a bit of a warning sign?
Yeah.
Essentially, if they're saying don't do double opt-in because these people don't go to their inbox and open the email and click the link, well, wait a minute.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the minimum thing I want these people to do. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yes.
So it looks like a shortcut because you can see a big spike in your stats if you do it, but really the work starts afterwards. Because as I said, you have to then find a way to reach out to these people,
Mm,
to stand out from the crowd, especially if you're doing this with someone who keeps selling solo ads, who keeps doing swaps. These people have been seeing these offers and are getting emails from all sorts of people all the time. So you have to have a strategy to stand out from that crowd, to somehow qualify them, to somehow filter out the better leads onto a separate list, maybe. And that's going to take time and investment again. So
yeah, I was going to say a lot of money to do that.
might not be a shortcut. I don't know.
No, yeah, I agree. So before we wrap up, I'm really interested to know if you've got any more new products on the horizon that you can tell us about, or what your future plans are with IM Connect, IM Impact. Sorry, it's nearly midnight here, so
Yeah, no, it's no problem.
continue. Yeah, IM Impact. What your
Yeah,
plans are?
yeah. So I do have, look, I have big plans, but most of them I don't like to talk about before they're
Come
closer to reality. But what I can say is that we we have a product called Viral Quiz Builder, which was pre-launched about half a year ago and then has been in development hell for quite a while, but which should be released or re-released before the end of the year.
Wow, fantastic.
So that should be quite interesting. And we have, well, there's also going to be kind of an evolution of Hybrid Connect in the future. And there's probably going to be a traffic generation product. So
Okay,
it's one of the goals. Is the question is just, can we make it good enough? So
okay.
there's huge demand for this,
Mm,
for a really solid step-by-step system for how to get traffic to your offers, to your site, and so on. And I mentioned that we were doing a lot of traffic experiments, and that's part of the reason is we want to try and put together a really solid, really awesome system, a step-by-step training system, essentially, to help people get traffic. That's one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have. And as I said, I'm not really doing info products that much anymore, but I think that's just one thing where there's so much demand. And I've been asked to do something like that so often that one of the goals is to release a traffic product of some kind, probably in Q2 of next year.
Okay. What about things like coaching and mentoring? Are you looking at doing that or not?
Not really, no. The reason is that I would have to make it worthwhile for me, I would have to charge a lot of money for that. And in terms of if I'm spending time coaching someone, how much is that time worth if I were spending it doing something else like developing or marketing one of my products?
Yeah,
So I'd have to charge a lot of money for that. And then if I look at the figure I'd have to charge for that, I'm not sure if it would really
I got you.
be worth that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not
So
do
it's really
coaching.
either or, like you either do mentoring coaching or you do your web development and product development and marketing and
Yeah, I
hard
mean,
to
we
do
all have the problem that there are only 24 hours in a
in the
day.
day.
That's one of my biggest issues, really.
It's a big issue. Go and find the answer to that problem and you're
Yeah.
wealthy. Yes, because we'll all buy
Yes.
product. That I'm going to get that hybrid connect and I'm going to do a review like what you did of all the ones I've bought and what happened, the features. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to do a Shane review. That's what I'm going to call it, a Shane review.
Uh,
And you do a really thorough, objective review. So, and
Oh, that's awesome.
I,
Definitely send me the link to that. I'm
I
I'm
will
looking forward to that.
I will definitely do that because I need the product anyway, and B, I think for SEO, I think that Shane review, we'll call it the Shane review, is a fantastic idea for any blogger who, whatever their niche is, just get the top products and compare them. So drives
Yeah.
traffic, gives value, all those things. So thank you so much, Shane. And I guess I'll see you around the traps, and of course I follow what you do these days quite closely. So I will definitely be commenting on your blog all these times. So. So
All
thank
right.
you.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity, Kate, and I hope we can catch up soon.
Yes, fantastic. All right. Thank you, Shane. I'll see you later.
All right. See you.
See you. Cheers. Bye.
Okay, that'll be
All right.
great.
Fantastic. Thanks, Shane.